Good evening, Sava here from Football Heritage TV. I hope everyone has had a lovely Monday. Today I want to talk about something other than signing players. Something that's gone very, very quiet. It's gone very, very cold. The director of football. We haven't got one yet. Tottenham Hotspur do not have a director of football now. There's a number of ways we can look at this. And this has just jumped into my mind purely because the Paratici conversation in the last 48 hours has started to ramp up that Paratici is still involved in a consulting capacity within Tottenham Hotspur. This scares the life out of me. If I'm brutally honest, this scares me no end. This guy was a tragic director of football. Absolutely tragic. And I'm going to go through why in a minute. But first and foremost, let's park him for 1 second. Let's assume that Paratici is not in the picture and that all of these rumours are just that. They are just rumours. Okay? Let's assume that for 1 second. By the way, when people watch my videos, notice how I use the words like probably and assume and caveat. I'm not dictating what is the truth. I'm asking questions. Okay. So now let's look at the eventuality that he is no longer anything to do with the club. You have two options. Spurs either get a director of football or they don't. It's that simple, right? It's that simple. You have the fans saying, well, it's never really worked for us. What does it matter? Postecoglou's never worked with one. That's not how he works. So there's that side of things that you can look at. Then you get well, hang on. The club needs a director of football because Postecoglou's just a manager that could be here for a year, 2 years, 3 years. And after that, what happens? What's the strategy? What's the structure of the football club? So are we to be concerned that we've not got a director of football in? Am I being too eager? Should we have had one in play already by now because Paratici left a long time ago? Will we get one once the 1st of July hits and people's contracts run down? Have they got one in the background? Is Scott Munn going to get more involved in this side of things than we thought? Because we were told he was nothing to do with this side of it. Is he going to be a kind of conduit with Postecoglou? Has he said, look, I'll join, but I do not want a director of football. That's not how I work. All of these questions surrounding Tottenham Hotspur. But when you look at it, you could say, has it ever really worked for us? Now, the difficulty is there's lots of different terminologies. There's lots of different titles that these people are going to have. A director of football, head of recruitment, head of football strategy, this, that, the other, blah, 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 blah. Now, when we did have some success was when we had the likes of Paul Mitchell going and buying younger players, bringing them through, and that all looked hunky-dory, didn't it? That all looked great. Then Paul Mitchell fell out with Daniel Levy. Surprise, surprise, surprise. Has gone on and had a really fantastic career wherever else he's been. And since those days, we've not really done a lot. We've had Paul Mitchell, we've had Frank Arneson, we've had Comolli, we've had Hitchin, we've had Paratici. We've had loads of managers to go along with it. And no real plan, no real structure has sat there and lasted the test of time. We bounce around from one ethos to another. Different directors of football with different philosophies. The one constant is, of course, always Daniel Levy. Lots of the directors of football that have worked for Spurs have come out and said that, look, they left because they weren't allowed to get on with their job. They were putting these players in front of Daniel Levy and we weren't getting them over the line. Now, I'm sure they're going to say that. I'm sure there are two sides to every story. But when there's that much smoke, there is fire. Now, let's look at the latest reports in the last couple of days is that Paratici is still working with Levy in a background capacity, as in like a consultant, a consultative effort, if you will. Some saying that he's behind the Vicario deal because we were looking at Vicario in January. Some saying that he's behind the interest in James Maddison. Now, one thing's for sure, we hear a lot of stuff and, we can all put two and two together in our heads and we can get one or we can get 150. Every now and then we land on 4. But none of us know for sure. But what we do know is it all seems a bit strange, doesn't it? I was one of those people that truly believed that once the season had ended, that we would announce both the manager and the director of football in the same week. And I was 50% there with Postecoglou. I truly believed that whichever manager was coming into Spurs was in a job and was still in a competition. But I was completely wrong about the whole director of football. Because as it stands, it doesn't look like we're getting one. Now, I could be jumping the gun. If we are getting one, why would you wait till when the transfer window is open? Why would that person not be in place for the transfer window? So it's all a little bit crazy for me. Now, do you want Paratici involved in any way, shape or form? With his history, with his past, his misdemeanours? Do you want him involved? If you look earlier, I believe it's between 15 to 17 signings he's made. And how many of them have actually done anything in a Spurs shirt? Let's look at it. Galini, absolute disaster. Shocking goalkeeper. Brian Hill, bought him with Lamela going the other way, came in, hardly any game time, not right for the league, not right for the pretend system that we had at the time. Has since gone on loan again. Emerson Royale, let's be fair, he does okay at times, but he's not a good player, is he? Let's be brutally honest. Longley, poor. Bentancur, one of the best of a bunch that he's bought. Again, difficult. I thought Bentancur was very, very good against some weaker opposition. I think it showed that he needed a better midfield partner with him. But he's probably the best of the bunch and has missed the last 6 months. Kulu, hit and miss. Let's be fair. I mean, people have got me for this, but he was excellent for 4 months. Now just had a very difficult year, so it remains to be seen which is the real Kulu. Romero, the same. I think he had a better first year. The second year's been difficult for him. Hopefully we'll see much more from those two this year. Perisic he bought in, who can't defend, who can't run. Doesn't add any goal threat at all. Yes, he's crossed a few good balls in. Spence. What's happened? Bought Spence. Wasn't wanted. Basuma. Bought in. Apparently didn't fit a Conte system. Forster. Arguably one of the better signings, was a backup goalkeeper. Richarlison. Done sweet FA. Danjuma. Porro. What was he bought for? You know, is he a right winger? Is he a right back? Is he a right wing back? When you look at all those signings, Papa Sarr, how many times have we seen this boy in 2 years? When you look at all of that, does anyone really want Paratici to be involved in any capacity at this club? Along with that, he's not managed to get rid of any deadwood. What's he got rid of? Bergwijn? Cameron Carter-Vickers? What's he done? What's he got rid of in his time? Lamela? Brian Hill out on loan, loads of players on loan. So, again, look, I'd love to get your feeling on this. And please just remember, we're all Spurs fans. Lots of people having a right dig. These are just football videos. We're just asking questions. So what do you make of it? Are we getting a director of football? Who do you want? Does Postecoglou want a director of football? Is that the right thing if he doesn't for Tottenham Hotspur Football Club? I'll leave this with you. But all I know is, again, lots of things are up in the air with Tottenham. And the ones that suffer in the end are us, the fans. Much love. Please like, please subscribe. We've had 15 subscribers in the last 3 hours, which has been lovely. So thank you very much to all of you. Keep subscribing. Let's grow the channel. Take care. See you soon. Bye-bye.